Good morning. Good morning, you guys.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning and happy Monday.
Good morning and welcome to another episode of Espresso with Sarit and Erin.
So the summer is officially almost here, and while we're waiting for more people to jump into the room, because we are going to start today's conversation with what we promised you guys last week. Since the Community Builder Challenge has ended, we will start by announcing the winners. But as some of you guys are just entering the room, in the meantime, drop a comment and tell us, what did you do this weekend? Or if you don't want to get into all of it, what was your favorite memory from this weekend? We want to know.
Good morning, Katie and Veronica and Teresa. All your fake names, I'm really impressed that I actually know the real ones. And Tammy, good morning. Stacy, Candace, Andrea.
Good morning, you guys.
Man, okay, I want to know.
What did we do this weekend?
I was a dessert platter for all the mosquitoes.
And the interesting thing is that they only bite Erin.
You know what? So I want to know. If there's one mosquito anywhere within a 20-mile radius, one mosquito, it's going to find me.
Yeah, it's because you got sweet blood. I keep telling you that.
I just don't even, I have like probably 15 to 20 bites.
I know. Well, anyways, so Erin spent a long portion of the weekend doing whatever she's doing right
Scratching
now, which is basically just scratching herself.
And what is it with my arms? If anybody has any mosquito remedies to keep them away, besides spraying DEET on myself every day, that'd be really great. What is happening?
So
all right,
let's read what some of the awesome things that they did this weekend. Let's see. Teresa worked on my tiny house exterior and went for a trail run. Aww.
With my dad.
I love it.
Fun.
RV shopping. Nice.
That's awesome.
What are you?
Okay, so Candace, I heard from Mandy that make sure it's worth the investment to get the kind that's not a bumpy ride. I don't know what that means, but you can talk to her about it. 3-hour kayaking.
Tammy, loving on family, remembering the life of my amazing niece, and hiking in the mountains.
The Rocky
amazing.
Mountains.
I love it. Rocky Mountains are gorgeous. Katie. Oh, wait.
I dropped off handwritten letters to all my former students, wishing them, you have to press the actual blue part.
Oh.
Wishing them good luck in high school.
Aww.
Oh, that's so sweet.
That's so great. My mom came over to my apartment and I felt so proud. I was eating vegetables. Yes, baby, become. Brittany Burns. Helped build a shed and swim and worked out. Nice. Kat. Sunday fun day. Bike ride 42
Dang.
miles. Nice. Where at? Kat, where are you from?
Wait, remedy. Bounce dryer sheets. Does it take away the itching or does it keep them away from me?
Do you just rub it on your body? I don't get it. Did my first 2 walking training for the marathon. Wait, you're doing a marathon? That's freaking epic.
Yeah, that's news.
Lemon eucalyptus oil keeps mosquitoes away. Yeah, that's what you read, right?
Lemon eucalyptus? I just have eucalyptus.
Is that the same?
I don't know.
Watching my boys' baseball game, lavender oil.
All the oils.
Oh, Minnesota. Okay, you guys, so like
next time Sarit smells me, I'm gonna smell like lemon eucalyptus.
I love it.
And what's the other one? Lavender, all at the same time.
These are all amazing.
A bouquet of flowers.
Eucalyptus is not a flower.
Yeah, not really. It's like a mint flower.
Okay, so Community Builder Challenge ended on Friday, and thank you everybody to those who shared our videos, and for inviting people to join the tribe. If you join us on a regular basis, you know that this is where it's at. We're on a mission to, really empower, inspire, and change the lives of millions to gain physical freedom, ridding themselves of, the food trap, gain their most badass confident body, and ever since last week, also we're on a mission for helping you guys build financial freedom as well. So let me take a quick sip and then we will start with the runner-up.
Second place.
So second place, as promised, will get a coaching call. Okay. So we'll make sure to have one of our coaches contact you if this is you. And second place is
Theresa Marie.
yeah,
Yay!
all the way from Canada. Okay, Teresa, so congratulations. You will receive a message later in your Facebook account today. So you'll be able to schedule your coaching call. Now, first place gets a coaching call along with the Lean Plus X Endurance supplement. So let's talk about the supplement real quick, the benefits of that, what you can expect. And then we'll announce the winner.
Yeah, the supplement is a Lean Plus, which are little capsules, and the idea is to promote fat loss through natural sources. I don't, off the top of my head, remember all of the ingredients. I remember there's like white bean something.
Yeah, so it is like a very. It's all based off of natural ingredients. It is not a thermogenic in any way, shape, or form, just so you know. So,
not like a hydroxy cut.
No, so it is fully aligned with anybody who is on a wellness mission, and it helps you to retain your muscle density while promoting fat loss. If you guys are interested, we can also be sure to drop the link if you're like, you know what, I would actually like to try it myself. We both have, and we've seen benefit from it, you especially.
Yeah, well, I tested it out because all of X Endurance's new products that they have, I test them because we won't put ourselves behind anything that we don't believe in or wouldn't take ourselves. So I did an actual test on myself for 30 days because that's one pack will last for a month. So I tested it on myself and I didn't change anything other than I started taking that and I took a before and after, and I did see results, and I'm already relatively lean, so to see results even more
in 30 days.
In 30 days
is not a lot of time.
Yeah. So it's legit, and I have the photos and I can post them if anybody wants to know. But X Endurance is a very a brand with a lot of integrity, and that's why we stand behind them. But okay, so let's get into first place winner.
They want the link, so we'll be able to drop it later. Or Tammy, if you want, drop the link. Drop your link. Okay, you guys.
Is it suitable for people with high blood pressure?
Yes.
It's all
Yes, it's not a thermogenic.
Everything in it is very natural.
It is not a thermogenic. Unlike the other stuff.
Yeah,
and that's why we support it, because it's not going to disrupt anything that's happening in your body.
It's not going to mess with your hormones or, screw up any kind of natural production or mess with any medications or anything like that.
Okay.
Okay, so who's getting it for free?
First place is the person who just asked this question. Candace Hallett, you get the X Endurance Lean Plus and a coaching call. And since you just asked the question with regards for high blood pressure, do us a favor, and when you get on the call with one of our coaches, Tell them that you have high blood pressure so that they can help you with creating a strategy to lower high blood pressure. We need to get you off of that.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. For real. For real.
So congratulations, you guys. And, you know, for anybody else who participated, shared our videos, and, you know, invited people to join into the group, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts, and we want you to know that you are appreciated, okay. Right? And thank you for supporting this mission, and, you know, for showing up for yourself every single day to, you know, make yourself better. So for anybody who's in the room right now, thank you for being a part of this community. Really, the intention is to only, you know, make this more badass, more amazing, because remember, you become who you surround yourself with, right? So that's the goal. Thank you, guys.
Yes, thank you so much.
Okay, so how did you end up titling today's topic?
I don't think it says,
because
we can't see it, but it does. It says something about like who you are versus who you're meant to be, or something like that.
Ooh, okay. So, drop a comment and tell us some attributes that will require you to implement in order for you to be who you're truly meant to be. What are those things? And for one, are you where you're meant to be right now?
I'm trying to absorb that question. Can you say it again?
So things flow through me, like I don't fully remember what I say.
But what do you? Okay, say it in a different way. However you need to say it.
What are attributes that you're going to need to implement?
Things you need to do, attributes you need to gain.
Yes.
Okay.
Personal
qualities.
Yes, in order to become who you're truly meant to be.
What personal quality, translation, what personal qualities do you need to possess to be the best person that you can be?
Thank you for
translation.
That. Okay, let's see.
This is how our conversations go.
You guys, I want you to write those down. Who you are versus who you're meant to be. Okay, great. Congratulations, Candace. Die to comfort.
Persist, perseverance.
Persistence, perseverance, snack control, focus. Planning, prioritize my health, focus.
Discipline. I think confidence is the byproduct, or confidence is something that helps, something that is gained along the way. But what are the things that you need? What are the personal qualities you need to possess? Do you need to be disciplined? Somebody said disciplined. You need to be able to manage your time, Stephanie says. You need to...
Jessica Knox said a good one. Courageous.
You need to be courageous. That's awesome. You know, what are the things the words that would describe you as your best self? I am courageous. I am good at time management. I am disciplined. I am focused. I am calm. Nice.
Settled mind, slow to anger, and a forgiving heart. Okay, so all of these things are incredible attributes. Now, all of these attributes are a byproduct of one thing and one thing only, and that is called commitment. So,
what is commitment?
Let's open up the dictionary.
What is the dictionary definition?
How do you define commitment?
Commitment is the state or quality of being dedicated to cause being dedicated to a cause or an activity, etc. An engagement or obligation that restricts freedom of action. Let's go with number one. Okay, commitment. In this case, what we're talking about is commitment is the state or quality of being dedicated to a cause or an activity. Dedicated. Okay, let's look up dedication.
State or quality, being dedicated to a cause or action.
Dedication means the quality of being dedicated or committed to a task or a purpose. Okay, so the action of dedicating, so basically they're interchangeable.
Yeah.
Each one uses the other in its
But
definition.
what
happened to me?
I would say that in order for you to be dedicated, you have to commit. It's like commitment first, dedication.
Commitment is the decision to dedicate yourself to the action.
Yes. Amen to that.
What came first?
So you guys are all right with regards to all of the words and phrases that you used. However, the reason why transformation of any sort, right? Whether it's body transformation with regards to anything in life, right? Like requires commitment before anything else, because commitment leads everything else to follow. Without commitment, you're going to block, right, all of the other attributes, right? Whether we said dedication, we said courage, willpower, desire, persistence, perseverance, right? So like, and that is why so many times people either give up, make excuses, or quit because they're not committed.
Commitment comes before dedication.
Right.
Because you will not be dedicated unless you have fully committed.
Yeah.
And commitment, you're either going to be, here's how you know whether or not you're committed. You either find a way or you find an excuse.
Oof.
That's simple, bottom line. If you make an excuse, you're not committed. It doesn't matter what it is. If we want something bad enough, we find a way to get it. And if you are relentlessly charging towards what you want and nothing will get in your way, you have commitment, right? And to follow that commitment, you then become dedicated to it, right?
So I feel like somebody at this point might ask, okay, but what do I need to do in order to be committed? Like,
Yeah.
I think I'm committed, but I'm not sure.
I think I'm committed, but if I'm making excuses still, or if I'm not getting things done, am I really committed?
Yeah.
Or if me skipping things I know I need to do, or getting lazy with, things that I should be doing that align with me getting to where I'm at, if I'm making excuses to not do these things, and they can seem like legitimate reasons, but like I said, if you want something bad enough, you find a way to get it. Where there is a will, there is a way. And if it is your will, then you are committed to it.
Yeah.
Right? When you write your actual will, that is a commitment of all commitments, right? And then it's there, and like that is what's going to happen no matter what you wrote it. That's your will. Mm-hmm. Which means whoever reads that will needs to find the way to make those things happen. Yeah. There is no question about it, right? There is no excuse, we can't really make that happen, right? Like, so if you are determining now, like, oh shoot, maybe I'm not committed, what do we need to do to get committed?
Yeah.
What
So for one, do you guys agree that if there is a will, there's a way? Drop a comment, yes or no. And if you disagree, that's fine. Let's talk about it. But I want to make sure that we're all on the same page that if there is a will, there's always a way. So, with regards to commitments, right? Most people think they're committed, however, they're not committed. They're committed only when the situation is ideal. That is not commitment, right? Because when you're committed, you're gonna get the task done no matter what. No matter what you have, like you guys said, you have to persevere through. No matter what the discomfort is, though, you know, like it doesn't always have to be uncomfortable. Like not every day is full of like rain and thunderstorms. However, like there are days like that, right? But like when you're committed, you're gonna get through it because that is your only option. But in order for you to get there, right, you have to find out and you have to seek out. Like it's not like a question that you can just answer like immediately unless you've worked on it already, right? Like if you, for whoever is in the inner circle, like I expect you guys to know the answer to this with regards to your own personal journey. The rest of you guys, not so sure. However, you want to find, this is what we call your why. However, finding your why sounds like this very cliche thing unless you're doing it right. So like, what is your reasoning for doing this in the first place? And you know that you hit your why when your desire is stronger than the greatest fear that you have, or the desire that you have is targeted towards who it is that you're meant to be, that you know that deep down, this is where I'm meant to be. It's like your desire is way higher than the excuses that you'll ever make, or your fear is way more uncomfortable than any of the uncomfortable things you'll have to overcome.
Yeah. And Jeanette said people are committed until it's not easy, and I would argue you're not committed.
You're not committed.
Because commitment is acting regardless of the inconvenience, regardless of the difficulty.
Yep.
Right? So you're actually not committed. You could partake and participate in certain activities, but if you at any point decide that an excuse is a valid reason, let's get really dramatic with this. Okay, let's say I'm headed to the gym and I'm gonna go work out. And then I get a flat tire on the way to the gym. And then, oh crap, well now I have to call AAA. I can't go to the gym. And then, if I go to the gym, I'm gonna be late for work. So I have to just wait to get my tire changed and then probably just go to work right afterwards. And then by the time I get off work, like I have to get home to make dinner. And so I'm not gonna be able to work out. Can you find a way to work out?
Yeah.
What would you do?
I'll probably pop squats while I'm waiting for the AAA.
Exactly.
Or like burpees.
Right? Work out outside on the road, get your sweat on, do what you can, right? It's not about being perfect. This is about giving your best no matter the circumstance, right? It's about doing what you have control over regardless of how inconvenient the circumstances may be.
Yeah.
And that may seem silly, but I remember when you were doing 800-meter walking lunge challenge, and one of the days during your challenge, you were in the airport, and you had to get it done in that day because you were committed. And she fucking lunged through the airport looking like a crazy, but she was committed, fully committed. Yeah. Right? Like, oh, I'm tired, I'm traveling, oh, there's
with
people
my
watching.
Backpack on
with
too.
her backpack on.
Because I wasn't going to leave my backpack. I'm like, this shit, like, if anybody ever lunged for 800 meters in a row, like, that shit takes like 30 minutes.
And it's about how many lunges? Like, almost...
like 900-ish.
It's like 900 lunges.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, where there is a will, and we don't say this to be like, oh, we're perfect and special and whatever. It takes practice. But where there is a will, there is a way. Or there is an excuse and lack of commitment.
Yeah. But the reason why we're committed is because we know in the front of our mind what we're doing this for. What we either desire to have, best case scenario, right? Like reaching to our full potential, also doing everything that we can to get away from our greatest fear. So it could be one, it could be the other, it could be both. And I'm gonna be honest with you. In my case, I'm reaching to my full potential every day while getting away from my greatest fear. So every time, right? Like when it, like a week ago, it rained and I had to go run as part of my workout. I moved to SoCal for a reason. It barely rains here. I think it rains here, what, like 30 days out of the year? Like it's warm and it's beautiful, right? However, my circumstances were extremely unfortunate. I got it done anyways because I knew that for me, the symbol of me not showing up is me getting closer to living a life, basically living with my greatest fear and getting away from my greatest potential. So therefore, for me, that little bit of discomfort, right, the 8 or 9 minutes that exposed me to discomfort were way less uncomfortable than the discomfort of facing my greatest fear.
Yeah, I think though what's hard about that for some people is we don't think about facing our greatest fear based off of one action. So it's easy to not do the one action because the result isn't going to immediately express itself, right? The greatest fear that you have or the greatest potential you could reach happens over time, not just by one action. So it goes either way. There's a spectrum, right? Here's your greatest fear. Here's your greatest potential. And one action is not gonna get you up all the way to here or all the way to here, right? So those actions in the middle are the hardest ones to take. And let's be honest, like we're either always in the middle reaching or falling back.
Yep.
Right? So, you know, it's that one action. It's skipping that one workout. It's, you know, not meal prepping one week because you wanted to spend extra time with your homies, getting a couple drinks in and going bowling because that's fun. You know, it's those decisions, not that you can't go have a couple drinks and go bowling. That's not what I'm saying. But it's the decisions made on a consistent basis that are either going to move you forward or not. And when you're committed, it's every single action that you need to take, you're going to take. Right? Whether it's inconvenient, not fun, hard, scary, takes courage, whatever, you're going to take the step forward into that discomfort regardless. That's commitment.
Yeah, I love it. So like you guys can think of this as a U shape, right? Like you right now are in the middle of the U shape, right? Like on the top left-hand side is full potential. You need to be very clear. What does that look like? Like super clear, like if I was to ask you a question right now, 3, 2, 1, go, like I want you to tell me a story. What does you living in your full potential look like? Okay, you need to have an extremely vivid vision. Unless your vision is so vivid, then you haven't dug deep enough. And that requires time, right? My vision is deep enough because, and by the way, it keeps evolving because I've worked on this vision for the last 5 years. So if you guys were to ask me right now, okay, what is your life living in your full potential looks like? I will tell you right now, okay? But also on the other side of the spectrum, right, on the top right-hand side, it would be my greatest fear. And I will tell you a vivid description of what that looks like too. And the reason why this is so important is because when you have so much clarity with what both of these extreme opposites look like, that creates an emotion.
And it's something for you to think about that will help you make the right decision.
Yeah.
Because if it's very clear to you, and each time you face a decision that you need to make that's either going to move you forward or backwards, you can rerun both of those visions in your head and say, and find the motivation, if you will, or the inspiration to do what's necessary, even if it's uncomfortable or hard or whatever.
Yeah,
Right.
and you know what? I'm gonna draw this diagram, and every day is not gonna be that extreme, but every day is going to either like not to lay. Every day is going to gear a little either more towards the left or more towards the right, right? Like happy days, like for example, like weekends, summer days when it's sunny and beautiful and like, you know, just like everything's good. That's going to be, you know, a day that's going to help you to propel yourself forward. It won't require as much energy to be generated from within in order to overcome. Not every day is going to be uncomfortable. And if you think that every day is uncomfortable, then you're wrong. That's not the case. However, yes, not every day is going to be amazing, right? So hold on. I want to draw this.
I'm going to explain my thought process as to why you're making the shape you're making, because I really don't know why, but I'm sure that you have your reason. But I think that the understanding that, or the, what I could make sense of the shape that she's making right now and this like diagram is, she'll show you in a second, but it's a U shape, right? And now you put arrows going up. And so the writing will be backwards to them, but
that's okay.
You can get the idea. So look, there's arrows at the top, right? Of both. So in my head, the first thing I wonder is, how are you going up within your greatest fear? Because an arrow upwards to me means improvement, right? On the other side, it makes more sense, right? Reaching your full potential, going up with the up arrow. Cool. And then at the bottom, it's like, but if you're at the least amount of potential, wouldn't it be like down below and not at the bottom? But here's what I'm thinking, is what makes sense of this is that if you are on one side or the other, for one, you're never on the full potential side. Because
Right.
when you think you reached your full potential, you realize that in the process of getting to where you had wanted to be, you want more. You know you're capable of more. You believe you're capable of more. So you keep going up. So there's never actually, I believe, reaching a full potential in the mind of somebody who is reaching a crazy high potential, because we always want to keep going up. Now, if you're on the opposite side, where the extreme is like your greatest fear or the biggest devastation, you have insane motivation because you can feel the pain firsthand. Hold on. I'm explaining my idea of this, right? So you have extreme pain that you're experiencing currently, which lights a fire under your ass to go, right? People have known this as like hitting rock bottom, right? The only way to go is up, right? So that's my idea of this. Now, when you're here, this is the most dangerous part. And this, to me, in my head, is why this is the lowest low. Is because you're not reaching your full potential, but you're not suffering. Right? So this is the mediocre. Not enough motivation to go forward, but not enough pain, or not enough pain to go forward, to motivate you to go forward, but not enough discomfort to not be okay staying there. Right? So that's the hardest point in which it is to make a commitment and to dedicate yourself, because it's like middle class. It's like, I have enough money to get by, so I'm not suffering. So it doesn't really light a fire under your ass. But you also don't have enough money to really have freedom, or you're living paycheck to paycheck. Right?
Exactly. Well, this is the thought process of what I would call take yourself to zero every day, right? Like you always have that fear in the back of your head, and that's why you show up, right? In order to climb up more towards your greatest potential and away from your greatest fear. And I want you to think about it this way. The reason why this is a U is because it's going to take you a really long time to achieve both, for better or for worse, right? So on one side of the spectrum, worst case scenario, I'm gonna say this is somebody who is sick, right? They have, let's say, high blood pressure, they have diabetes, or they're not capable of really physically doing anything with their body, right? Because they've made it sick over time. It didn't happen overnight. Chances are that they haven't worked out in a really long time. If they did, they're extremely inconsistent and their nutrition is really poor.
They're
right?
in all kinds of pain. They take all these medications. They feel very dependent on medicine or other people to help them do daily activities, like extreme.
Right, like they depend on medications in order to get by through life, right? Because if they don't take their medications, they can end up in a hospital or, well, worst case scenario. Exactly. So this is worst case scenario. And for me, that is my greatest fear. I'm not afraid of death. However, I am afraid of death from chronic disease. Absolutely, because I think it's extremely debilitating. And therefore, every day, I do everything that I can in my power to take it one step forward. So every meal that you eat, right, either takes you one step closer to the grave or one step closer to your full potential. Every workout, same thing.
Is it fair to say, like, being burned alive is actually less painful than creating illness over the span of your life and living in misery every day?
Well, I think the short-term pain is greater, but overall it's less debilitating because you're being debilitated for, I mean, if you think about it, right, like most people, and I'm not talking about like mental health, though that is a topic that we definitely need to have.
But that goes in, that's what I'm saying, that goes into it.
Right.
Because it's not just the physical aspect, it's your mental, it's your psyche, it's your energy, it's your spiritual, it's everything gets sick the worse you treat yourself. And it's like every day you're living in the fire. Like, though, yes, the feeling like your flesh isn't physically burning,
yeah,
but the amount of pain experienced over time is greater than the amount of pain experienced physically,
yeah,
right? Because it's just physical,
right,
at that point,
right.
And I might be like reaching, but I truly believe that.
Yeah. So like, for me, in the back of my head, I know what my greatest fear is, right? So every day, right, I reach up. I reach up because I'm like, me reaching up means just a little bit farther away, just a little bit farther away. And guess what? Over 5 years, you're right here. Over 10 years, you're right here. And the reason why I did this U shape is, you know why, you guys? Because the more you progress, the harder it is to progress. The more effort it requires. However, because you've developed more skill, it doesn't seem as hard. Okay? And that's why I always say, everybody says that they want a six-pack, but not everybody's willing to do whatever it takes. Right? Just like, you know, everybody wants to be a millionaire, but most people want to do it by winning the lottery. Not by working like blood, sweat, and tears, right? So like, I'm so vividly aware of both of them. So every day when discomfort shows up, right? Like 4 a.m. alarm goes off. Like, I'm like, shit, man, I'm still fucking tired. Guess what? Do you want to take it one step closer to your full potential? Or do you want to go one step closer to the grave?
Get up.
And literally, like, it's that vivid. So that's how I make decisions on days where I don't feel like showing up for my workouts because I'm tired, I'm sore, you know, like, you know, I've had a stressful week. And this is not to brag about myself. This is literally me walking you through my training thought. And I know the reason why I'm telling you this, you guys, is I truly believe that if I can, so can you. However, you have to do yourself a favor and take the time to really analyze, who are you?
Yep.
What does your dream life look like? What does your worst case scenario look like?
Yep. And Candace said something that a lot of people, I think, can relate to, and it's I hate the getting there part. But look, newsflash, you are always going to be working on getting there. So you gotta just get comfortable in that.
Yep.
Get comfortable in that. Yesterday, I literally made something really hard for myself because it's a mindset, just a mindset. It helps my mind. The stronger my mind is, the stronger everything else can be. Right? Because in here is what dictates what happens with this physical piece, right? And how you behave and how you treat people and how you approach different scenarios and how much relentlessness you have, right? And so I like, yesterday, literally, it's on my phone, but I was thinking so many things as I was doing this. All I did yesterday, I promised myself for 45 days, I was going to do 20 minutes of extra intentional movement. Now, that doesn't mean I have to kill myself or whatever, but yesterday I was in this position where I was feeling a little bit uncomfortable with a fear that I have. And I was like, you know what? I'd rather be uncomfortable moving forward. So the way in which I can move myself forward right now to be better mentally and even physically is to smash this fucking bike.
Yep.
And get uncomfortable and just fucking stay there.
Yep.
And it had nothing to do with my physical body. The things I was thinking is, oh man, the thought that I actually really hate is where I used to be, if it's better than where you are now. And physically, I used to be stronger. Physically, I used to be a more competitive athlete, right? And because of some of life's circumstances and choices I've made, I am not at that level, right? And so when I was on the bike yesterday, I kept thinking about, man, it sucks, oh, I'm not where I used to be, whatever. But instead of living in that, I said, well, your bitch ass better get uncomfortable and like it. So I went like 180 calories in 20 minutes on the air bike. So if anybody knows what that's like,
yeah,
Jesus, take the wheel. But I literally, like, I grind it, like my quads are sore. My legs and my butt were about to cramp when I got off the bike. I had to literally like move them around so they didn't cramp. It was intense. But what I did is, for one, when I got off that bike, I felt so accomplished because I got off that bike knowing I literally gave it my all. I did my best. That was all I had. That was all I had to give, and I gave it. And going past this point of comfort, and embracing it and just being okay with it is like a very strangely awesome place to be in. When you're like experiencing so much discomfort, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, but if it's something that's reaching you forward, man, like that feeling is amazing.
So I added one more element to the diagram.
What does it say? It's backwards.
So in the full potential half, right, it says short-term pain, long-term gain, okay? And in the right half of worst-case scenario, short-term gain, long-term pain. Mm-hmm. So literally, this image should free everybody, and here's why. Because we're all starting from the same place in life. We're all starting from the same place, okay? Different positions.
Every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Every day. Now, the difference between those who are here, right? Like way more successful than those who are average, not successful, terrible, right? Is one thing only. And it's what's between their ears.
It's your level of commitment.
It's your level of commitment or lack thereof.
And it's the level of clarity that you have exposed to yourself.
Yeah.
And what it is that you want or don't want.
Yeah. I want you to pay attention to somebody who's close to you in your life. It could be you, by the way. Right? However, I think that if you're here, you're probably more on the committed side. However, I do believe that most people say they're committed, but like this should really bring in clarity. However, somebody who is not committed, watch how many times they blame everything. As soon as you get with them on the phone, they're like, oh my gosh, did you hear about the accident, blah, 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 or the weather is blah, blah, blah. They're literally seeking for problems to make excuses as to why they're not showing up. Right?
And the sad part is that a lot of times we don't know we're doing it.
They're not even aware of it,
Because
right?
I remember, like, probably, what were we doing, like 10 years ago even?
I used to be like that too, yeah.
Yeah, it's so easy to focus on the negative. Oh, woe is me. Oh, this thing, that thing. And I think it's because we don't, as human beings, like, we like to stay in, I don't even want to call it a comfort zone because it's not. We like to stay in our familiar zone.
Yes, because we've mastered one thing, and it's called evolving, right? And it took so much perseverance that our brain is like, fuck this, I just want to chill, right? And that's why, like, we're on such a mission, you guys, because imagine that person that you're thinking about, right? I know it's not the community builder challenge, but if there's that one person in your life, and I know that each and every one of you guys have at least one person, you need to invite them to this room, because they're living a sub-mediocre, maybe like hazardous life, because they haven't been taught any differently.
This is, like, I'm reading some of the comments that so, like, I've noticed a lot of people around me, and it immediately makes me think of the environment, right? Your environment and how it shapes you. And this weekend, like, talk about getting uncomfortable and doing things that you don't want to do. Like, we're transparent. Like, you guys are family. You show up every day for us. We're going to be here for you, and we're going to be your friends, right? So this weekend, I'll let you in a little behind the scenes of what was happening in our business. We are creating an entire online course to help people stop yo-yo dieting, or like yo-yoing efforts and their weight, and doing this back and forth, which, by the way, we have something awesome for you guys at the end of this live that we want you to,
about it.
yeah. But you know, this weekend we recorded an entire course on environmental manipulation, right? Of mental, of physical, of social, right? All of the environments that influence you in one way or another, and how to clean up those environments so that you can be surrounded by the things that are going to help propel you forward and not keep you where you are. Right? And so that would be in that, right? Like, the people around you, like, you don't want those people around you. Or if you have to have them around you, you want to edit the amount of sharing that happens with those people.
Or you want to bring them up with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because otherwise they're going to bring you down. That's just the nature of the beast, because energy is contagious.
But that's also the editing, the conversations that you have with those people, right?
Yeah.
So, is there more that you wanted to say on this topic?
No, let's close this.
So the opportunity that we have for you guys, look, if you've been struggling for a while, and we're going to talk about this all month, because we need everybody to do this. Every single person needs to be in this. It's free. So literally, we are giving you the biggest gift that we possibly can. And we're going to do an online web class that is on whatever we can give, whatever tools, whatever information, whatever inspiration, whatever, anything we can give to you to help you overcome any of the issues or struggles that you've had, and why you've gone this track. You know, the webinar is called How to Stop Yo-Yo Dieting the Simple Way, right? So Tammy, can you please post the link in the comments? So if anybody wants to just click there easily and go, they can. It's absolutely free, guys.
ImproveYouSolutions.com/webinar. ImproveYouSolutions.com/webinar. Yep. So, you know, this is a live training. We created it just for you guys. And you know that we're going to keep on giving, because this is what we're all about. We really are on a mission. And we want to bring you up with us, because guess what? The more people we have around us who are going up, do you think it's going to be easier for us to go up? Hell yeah. And the same goes for you, right? So that's why, like, if there is anybody, whoever it is that you know who will benefit from this, it's completely free. Just tell them, yo, dude, like, ImproveYouSolutions.com/webinar. It's that simple. Okay, so the live training will take place on Tuesday, June 30th at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern time. However, due to technology is amazing, but technology also limits you. There's only gonna be enough space for 100 people. So the first 100 people who get into the room are gonna be the ones who are listening to the class. Everybody else will have to wait for, another round of us to do. So like, make sure to show up. Like, step one, go to improveyousolutions.com/webinar, register for that, right? So that you'll be able to enter the room on time, because we're gonna be sending you emails and basically like telling you when it's time to enter class and whatnot, just keeping you in the loop. And then also set a calendar appointment, okay, for Tuesday, June 30th at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, okay, to make sure that you can show up. Do this for yourself, because by the end of the day, we're all going through the same thing. So how do you want to, end today, this week, this month, this year? Do you want to go closer to the more positive side of full potential, or do you want to derail, right? Like, every day you have an option, and it's called showing up. However, it's up to you whether you're going to do it or not. So we want to bring you up with us. We hope that you do too. If so, register. If not, don't blame the weather.
Sorry for
That's
you.
for
Don't
sure.
blame the weather for not being in your house.
Or the flat tire, right? Because it just means you're not committed.
Look, you'll be able to, it's best to join on a computer, but even in the case that you have to join on your phone, like whatever, there's a way, right? Where there is a will, there is a way.
Yep.
So
you guys are awesome. We hope you have an amazing start to your week. Remember, you're in charge. Sometimes it might not feel like it, but by the end of the day, you're in charge, because you can control this, and therefore you can control everything else. Have an amazing day. Have an amazing week. We will see you tomorrow, 6:30. Bye.
bye.